As I alluded to a little bit earlier, it is that time of year when caring for pets sometimes takes a bit of a backseat. Often they're abandoned and neglected. The SPCA is appealing to owners to take special care of their four-legged friends.
The affectionate, needy type, the cute and cuddly, the downright antisocial. Often the bark is worse than the bite. The gentle giants, and of course the perpetual attention seekers. But behind these adorable traits, tales of horror. This crossbreed German Shepherd was found in a shocking condition.
She was covered in ticks and she had a huge deep cut in her neck, which is caused by tying the animal up.
For Gideon, the connection was instant.
This dog, she had a special place in my heart.
Abandoned or spoiled, pets also have to deal with extreme temperatures this year.
We're battling with a prolonged heat wave, and that really is a major factor. Perhaps the key is responsibility. Anyone who has an animal is responsible.
And adorable as they are, think twice before putting a Christmas bow around a puppy's neck.
Pets as gifts can be easily neglected. The novelty wears off quickly alongside the new toys and games. Kittens and puppies need special attention, especially when they're in a new environment, and more so during the festive season.
Some advice from pet lovers.
We want to take him to the beach maybe, because he loves swimming.
I've got a few toys that have been wrapped up for her.
I give her sausage present.
They're not called man's best friend for nothing. Make sure you're worthy of the unconditional love. Gillian Pillay, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Too adorable, but unfortunately many of us are excited ahead of tonight's festivities, and so we should be. We're welcoming 2016 at the stroke of midnight. It's a very emotive and human experience. We tend to ignore the feelings of the animals who are afraid of fireworks. There are also restrictions on when you can actually set off a fireworks, so please do check with your local authorities for that. I know sometimes there can be designated areas as well, so be sure to make sure that you stay within the confines of the law. But Gideon Morar is an animal inspector with the SPCA. He joins us now to speak more about protecting our animals ahead of tonight's festivities. Gideon, we saw you a moment or two ago. It's a huge pleasure to have you with us in studio this morning.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Gideon, tell us, we always hear the rhetoric that we shouldn't set off fireworks in front of animals, etc. But tell us why. What do they do? What sort of trigger are there for animals?
First of all, the animals have a very heightened sense of hearing. They hear a lot louder than us. Any small noise or a small pop or bang is like a huge explosion to them. So this causes them to become very frightened, very scared. They become disorientated. They behave in ways that are not normal to them. They do all kinds of things. They try and escape the yard. They escape their homes. They'll run frantically in the streets, obviously resulting in accidents, car accidents. They get stuck in the fences. They get stuck in drains. The list goes on.
So it's akin to being in a war zone if you were a human being.
Exactly.
I'm just imagining bomb blast, etc.
Yeah.
It would be like that situation.
Absolutely.
For them.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, and they don't understand always what's going on.
Yeah.
If the owners are out, they don't understand if they've been left there in a situation. It's very important that they're monitored or kept in a safe environment where they can't escape or can't hurt themselves. Ideally, we need somebody to be around to monitor them, or the best case is to bring them inside the house, maybe a cool place like the kitchen, the living room, a familiar place where they actually can't escape and go into the streets and hurt themselves. Yeah.
Is there any sort of medication that one can give to animals to sort of calm them down? I'm not sure whether or not this is advisable, but is there anything that we can give them to try and mitigate the effects?
Yes, absolutely. Bearing in mind that it must be prescribed by a qualified veterinarian. We don't want to say, go to the pharmacy and buy, these products. It needs to be prescribed by a vet that has seen the animal. They need to take into consideration how much it weighs, what kind of temperament it has, and all these kind of things. But there are various products available from the animal hospitals, the vets, but this needs to be done in advance. It can't be done tonight.
Of course, because I'm thinking the chances of you finding a vet to go and speak to this at last minute is just not going to work. Yeah.
Yes.
But how cost effective are those medications? I mean, looking after pets in and of itself is very expensive. Is that an added cost that is quite exorbitant?
Look, it's definitely worthwhile. Yes, it might cost something, but it could save your pet's life. It could prevent your pet from becoming lost, landing up in an animal shelter, and you might never even find the pet again. So it depends what value do you put on that animal. If you love it, you will spend a few extra rands trying to help it and keep it safe in this dangerous time for them.
And in my mind, I'm thinking if you want to have a pet, you should be familiar with the responsibilities that come with it. This is a live creature. It's not like a piece of paper or anything.
It's
it
not
lives,
a toy.
it breathes. It's not a toy.
Yes.
So, I mean, you should be able to know the ramifications of keeping an animal and how to look after it. But do you think that we're aware as people sometimes just how cumbersome or burdensome it can be to look after a pet?
A lot of people don't understand, the long-term commitment and the responsibilities, and it's a big challenge because everybody loves dogs and cats when they're kittens and puppies. They're very cute, they're adorable, they're small. You can put them in your handbag, in your room. But when they grow up, the needs change. The animal has more needs. It has more, demands that needs to be met. So it doesn't stay small and cute forever, I'm afraid. It does become a big dog, a big cat. They have different behavioral issues that need to be addressed. They have, needs that need to be addressed properly in order for them to be healthy and happy. And unfortunately, it's our job to inform the public, everyone on these challenges and responsibilities, especially before they get the pet, to try and help them to make a proper decision. And not make an impulse buy, not to buy the kitten for your daughter who's not going to keep it in 10 years' time. A cat can live up to 20 years. A dog can live anywhere between 15 and 20 years. So we really want people to make that commitment.
Yeah.
I kind of compare it to getting married.
Wow, yes, that's quite
Or
right.
having kids.
You're not just going to close your eyes and just jump into it.
No.
Yeah, you have to calculate everything. I mean, for instance, I didn't know that my dogs would get bigger and they'd eventually start jumping on me. It's my fault because I didn't train them. So they're in the backyard and I'll be going into the backyard for whatever, and they don't want to know if you've just come from morning live. They jump on you, paws full of mud and everything, on your suit that you've just taken to the dry cleaners, and you just have to breathe. Remember to woosah, because you're the one who wanted these pets.
No,
now
absolutely.
You must deal.
And they're just showing you love and affection.
Yes, of course.
If you can't afford to give your pet love and affection and, the time to, spend some time with it, it's better that you don't have a pet,
And what we receive in return from pets is also very invaluable.
It's priceless.
The psychological upliftment that they give you. I mean, the unconditional love that they give you as well. So there's a lot that we benefit from these creatures.
Absolutely, yeah. That's why so many people have animals. And we want people to have animals and pets. But we want them to be informed about the challenges. And yes, you will have to pay if the animal gets sick or it gets injured. You are responsible. The SPCA is not able to help everybody look after their pets. I mean, we need people to also understand that and step up and take responsibility for their animals.
So very quickly, if I haven't managed to go and see a vet and get medication for my pup or my dog or my cat or whatever pet I have at home, and I find myself in a situation where my neighbors have got their firecrackers and it's rowdy and it's noisy, and my little pet now is shivering and is quite afraid, what do I do then to calm this creature down?
Look, the best thing is to put it, like I said before, bring the pet inside the house, put him in a comfortable place, maybe give him a familiar blanket, his water bowl, his own food bowl, maybe some special treats, any kind of animal toys, pet-friendly toys, anything like that, just to make him comfortable and reassure the animal that, it's not the end of the world. Yes, it's scary, but
I'm here.
Yes, somebody's there.
Okay.
And the other thing is, don't keep the dog tied up on a rope or in a chain. When it's terrified, it's likely to maybe strangle itself or break its neck. Unfortunately, I've seen this. and it needs to be kept somewhere where it can move around, but it can't escape, ideally inside the house. It's only one night of the year.
Yeah.
Everyone can make that, that compromise for the
A
pet.
little bit of a sacrifice. Gideon,
Yeah.
thank you so much for
Thank
this
you.
insight and the input that you've just given us.
Thank you
Gideon
so much.
Morar is an animal inspector with the SPCA. You know, Ziazi, I think I know a lot about you, but I don't know whether or not you have pets. Do you have pets?
No, not at the moment.
No?
Yeah, because
Are you the pets to your live-in partner or your family? I'm just kidding.
But I grew up with pets. I've always had dogs ever since I was in primary school and high school. Yeah, so I'm really keen on having one as soon as I have a backyard and not a balcony. So yeah, one day when I do have a backyard, I'll have a crocodile or a dog with me there somewhere. Okay, so I guess with that.